For the next fireside chat, actually panel discussion, we will be debating how two wheels mobility services are conquering the city. And for this, I'm going to invite on stage Andrei Botescu, the man behind Atelierele Pegas and Ape Rider, and Victor Racariu, General Manager Romania Glovo. So guys, if you are anywhere here, please join me on stage. Okay, here's Andrei. I still need the other panelist, but I hope he will join us soon, right? Okay. So until Victor will be here on stage, let's introduce for those who are now in the room, for those who are now, I think we have the second guest, right? You're late. It's okay, you can give him a big round of applause. So, briefly, what is the status of your services now in Romania?
The status.
What are you guys doing, to put this in simple words?
For Ape Rider, we ran 2,000 bikes for 6 months. Not all of them each day in the street, but let's say in the mean 1,000. And we have 80,000 users, from which 30,000 which we call active with multiple rides. And we have 200,000 rides. We have, this is funny, 700 penal complaints. We got a lot of bike thieves to jail. And
okay. I know that campaign. Is there anyone in the room who didn't see the...
And slowly but steadily we clean up the city of thieves, and the service become more stable. We run our own software, so it was a real challenge. So we evolved a lot in these 6 months. Now at the end of the season, we can say we have a pretty stable app, but in the beginning was not so stable. So, but the most important thing that we built a community around it to support it. And the community helps us more than technology. For example, just right now, some friend sent me a movie with a guy that steal a bike, and then I just sent it to the team, and the team got him. So it was just easy, usual thing today, you know, like having lunch or.
Was this the goal, the objective of your project, to get rid of?
It wasn't at the beginning, but it became, because many people ask us for a tracking solution for their personal bike. So we will launch next year a solution for personal bike. Of tracking, and also tracking and security and legal assistance. So you have the bike tracked. If a thief is stealing from you, then the security team, which have 100 cars in the city, will be alarmed, because we have a central of alarm, and come and get it, and then a lawyer of us will file the penal complaint for you. So it's an integrated service, which has a lot of demand.
Okay. Victor, what about you?
Hello, sorry for being late. Well, I'm from Glovo. If you don't know what Glovo is, it's an on-demand delivery company. We deliver anything you want from the city in 45 minutes, or at least we try to deliver it in 45 minutes. It took me more than 45 minutes to get here because of traffic, so we need more bicycles on the road for sure. Now with the bad weather. We launched 6 months ago. We have somewhere around 100,000 downloads, 1,500 couriers that joined our app. They are in a sharing economy model, so they can work whenever they want. They use their own vehicles, including bicycles, but also cars, scooters, electric scooters, anything that they have. And now we're growing and doing all kinds of partnerships. We're focusing a lot of food delivery. Yeah, that's about it for now.
Andrei already shared with us some of the funny stories. I imagine that there are more. So if you know anything else that would make all these people laugh, please feel free. But what about you? Any challenge, any remarkable story that you've managed so far?
Well, funny thing is that we actually work together.
Okay.
My couriers use their platform, their bicycles, their electrical bicycles. We have a challenge when it comes to bicycles and couriers because after, I don't know, 4 hours of riding the city, you're dead because, well, you don't have lanes to go on the bicycle. You need to go in traffic, I don't know, between cars and things like that, so it's quite hard. So we're trying to help them with electric bicycles, which basically they rent, is not something that we provide to them, but we put the connection together between us and Pegas to work together. We did a pilot, and now we're hoping to extend the pilot to more couriers so that they can work during winter. Now that the bad weather came, I mean, Sunday it started to snow. Monday we immediately had a problem because people are cold. They can't go between snow with bicycles and things like that. And the sidewalks are not cleaned up, and even the roads, and a lot of cars came out in the city immediately. So it is a challenge even now to put people on the road with bicycles. We provide them jackets. That's what we can do from our end. I don't know, funny stories. Our funny stories is with what we deliver and what people order. And they order, I don't know, keys, and they ask the courier to open the door lock because they are locked in the house.
Okay.
Or
are you allowed to do that?
well, if the customer requests. Okay. Or not necessarily related to bicycles, but we had an order from a customer that wanted to order for a car with starters for the battery because he ran out of battery, and he ordered in anything button. And yeah, we have all kinds of strange orders for customer, or a customer that ordered, I don't know, 3 bottles of wine in the afternoon, and in the morning ordered some medicine because he had a headache.
You're basically building relationships with them. I mean.
Yeah. This is our app. We deliver anything.
Okay. Andrei, any other funny stories from your part?
Okay, first I want to say that for next winter I will help you. We have a prototype for heated gloves and heated coats.
I know, I'm waiting for that.
Okay. And then funny story. The funniest story that I had with a priest that stole a bike. And
a priest?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my security team got to the church and then called the priest because it was a number there. And he said, look, I see in my app, I see the bike, it's here in the church. And he said, no, it's not possible, no, we don't have that. And then he got some workers there, and they opened and they see and sent him a picture. Look, this is the bike. He said, okay, yeah, I remember now, some of the employees put it there. And then I put it on the Facebook. And I got like 1,500 shares, and the priest got mad and asked us. He said he will sue us, and I called him. Okay, why do you want to sue us? It's not correct what we did. Like you said first that is not the bike there, and then you said it is. He said, yes, but you know, I was to a baptized party and I forgot. No, this is worse, man. Like, if I tell the people that you were drunk and you forgot, it's worse.
Okay, now getting back to the serious part of the discussion, what improvements do you guys need in terms of technology or tech improvements in order to overcome the challenges that you are facing?
I can go first. So, I don't know if you know, but for example, Google Maps doesn't even have routes for bicycles in Bucharest. So that's one, let's say, that I have in mind. It's not a matter of technology. If it's a technology part, we can take care of that in our own business. What we need, of course, is the authorities to help in that direction and to create a city that's bike or two wheels friendly. And also, After that is a matter of, I don't know, people trying to do something and not to use the cars so much. I mean, okay, now it's cold and everything, but we have spring, we have summer and nice days, and still people use cars even for super short distances. When you have subways, you can use a bicycle for a short ride to work. I use my bicycle each day to go to the office. It takes me like 20 minutes. By car, it will take me like 12. So it's not that a big difference. You don't need to run over there. You can go to the office like any other person. So it's, of course, authorities to put lines and lanes for bicycles, in which, okay, they started a little, especially in the northern side, part of the city. But if you want to change something, I think that it's a matter of changing it by us first. And I don't know, instead of buying maybe a super expensive car, buy not such an expensive car and a scooter, or an electrical scooter, or an electrical bicycle, or that 2 wheels small scooters that you can ride standing up, or whatever means of transportation you can find except from a car. So we need to change something if you need to change something in this city. And from our side, as an authority, let's say, in this domain, we will try to work as much as possible with the authorities to, I don't know, set up their courier lanes. We can provide that, okay, where people or our couriers use the most of the app, or what lines they should create, or things like that. We can provide that, for sure, and we will try to do it in the future. Except from that, of course, public transportation to improve, so that again.
So most of them are infrastructure problems, not necessarily
by far.
Tech challenges.
Tech challenges, again, this we have, and we need to, like, GPS locations and things like that, which sometimes you have problems with that. Also, in the delivery business, of course, we use Google, and for example, our addresses are not correct, and you find the same address in 5 points or things like that, which of course could help. I mean, our maps comparing to an Western European city are by far are less good, for sure. Okay. So yeah, that could improve a lot.
And this is something that's under your control, or is something that anyone in the room, for example, can just put their input?
Well, the Google Maps, for example, it's something that's editable by anybody. I mean, they're free. So you can change them. I mean, they're good, but it could work a little bit better. But yeah, except that technology side, I don't see now something that we can do. Of course, things like what Pegas is trying to do with insuring your bicycle, for sure that will help a lot of people, because I heard people saying, I'm not going with my bicycle to work, for example, because someone will steal it. Or maybe I can leave it, go with a bicycle near a metro station, leave it there, and take it when I want to get home. And I can leave it there with no problem during the day. That could also work, for sure.
Andrei, what about you?
Okay. On the infrastructure, yes, we all need the bike infrastructure in Bucharest, but also in other cities. The ape rider and the core business, Pegas, needs that, and when the bike infrastructure will exist, we will sell a lot of bikes, and we'll put in the street a lot of bikes, and the city will be on bikes. For example, I was to a seminar in Brussels, and they say that in the future they want to have only cargo bikes for transportation in the center of the city, just to diminish pollution. And also we have collected a lot of data from these rides. So we have a partnership with the City Hall, and maybe it seems strange to the audience, but I get along very well with the guys from the Transportation Commission, and they asked me for this study. We collect parking spots, most often met the parking spots and the bike ways. So we have some heat maps. So they asked me for the parking spots because they want to build some parking infrastructure for the bicycles. Because as you know, Bucharest will be fined by EU with about 200,000 euro per day because of pollution, because we are a very polluted city here. So they start to look at what they can do for diminishing the pollution.
So there is some sort of dialogue between you and authorities.
Yes.
That would have been my next question. Do you guys do something? I mean, do you, I don't know, ask them to come up with a solution? Do you have any?
Sure, we offer information, consultancy, everything.
Do they listen to you, or because I imagine they hear you, but
I'm in the, let's say, a fortunate position that you know, Pegas was the bike of many generations, so it opened the heart of everybody. So when I meet somebody, he first tell me about his bike in his childhood and the story, or if he hadn't had a bike. So it's easy to communicate, and yeah, but things are hoping going well. You know?
okay, because our time is almost over. Before asking about the future plans, I'd like to see how many of you use their bikes on a weekly basis to, I don't know, travel in the city. Just raise your hand. Okay, about half of them? No, less than half, right? Less than half. Okay, why not? I mean, if there's anyone interested in sharing their opinion. Okay, someone wants to share the opinion right there. So if you can grab the mic, okay. It's not working yet, so try again. Try now.
Is it working?
Yes.
Okay. So I do not use the bike because the city is really polluted, and I was going to ask a question, but I know there's no time, but I was thinking about the guys biking around town with the Glovo and just thinking about how much pollution they inspire, because it's horrible just to walk on the sidewalk, not to say to bike around cars. So that's the main reason I do not use the bike. And secondly, because it's dangerous, because we do not have a bike infrastructure. Maybe that's why Google Maps won't map it out, because it would be like the the streets plus the portion on Victoria, on Calea Victoriei, which is like,
well, yeah, it's a combination between streets and walking, in the end, the bicycle.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, currently it gives you an error if you try to do, if you put a bicycle route. Yes, of course, we have pollution, but being in a car will only pollute more. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. In the end, we have a polluted city. I don't use my bicycle, but I'm using my car that pollutes the city. But yeah, I understand your point. Yeah, that's a valid point. I mean, I don't know, we can use all kinds of masks in order to not inspire everything. And in the end, in a car, you have the filters of the car, and that's it. That sort of protects you from the pollution. We have the bus. Yeah, we have also the bus, which I don't know if it's the freshest air in a bus. But yeah, a bus works. I mean, if you go by bus, that's that's perfect.
That's fine.
As long as we use the cars as less as possible. That's the main point, actually, of two wheels. And even a scooter, yeah, that scooter pollutes, of course, because it uses gas, but a lot less than a car. And you don't stay so much with it open, let's say, turned on, because you get anywhere a lot faster. So overall, every step that we walk, or you use a bicycle, or you use a bus, or you do anything that you can not to use a car, for example, for sure it will help on the pollution and on the traffic and everything related to that. And when it comes to dangers, as I told you, it's not going by a bicycle doesn't necessarily and automatically mean that you need to go on a road with that bicycle. You can go on a sidewalk, or you can take different routes between on really small streets that are not so traffic intense. Of course, if you go downtown in the on the second lane, you will probably get hit. But if you go on I don't know, between these streets that are here, they're not so much traffic usually, and you can.
It's difficult to hear your input, but I'm sure that during the networking session we can debate a lot more. The main idea would be that if we want to conquer the city on two wheels, we have to act together, because all by yourself, I imagine that you can't do that much.
And the time spent in traffic, if you are in the car, you spend more on the rush hours. So you are exposed to pollution more time. Now people are using bikes because they are getting easier now to their target.
We have 30 seconds more, so very, very briefly, what are your future plans?
Get as much as bicycles as possible, electrical bicycles with Pegas probably. Do as much as possible in order to move the city and maybe get people to order in so they don't have to use their cars to go somewhere and eat, for example.
Andrei.
We are working on e-bikes that are having a percent of self-regeneration of the motor. We got a European fund to develop this project, and we want to connect to the European satellite network Galileo, which has a satellite over Romania, which is called Irina, and is more precise.
Nice. Andrei, Victor, congrats for all the work you do. Big round of applause for these two guys. Thank you so much for joining me on stage.